Hi, my name is Mary. Today FM plays the best music in Lambasa. Today FM rocks.
My name is Thomas. I'm here in Nakasi and I like to listen to Today FM because it rocks.
My name is Milenia. Today FM rocks here in Singatoka.
My name is Alfriti and Today FM rocks here in Tavua.
My name is Mary Jane. I love listening to Today FM here in Ba. Today FM rocks.
My name is Ilaiti Ambal and I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks here in Osur.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In the news tonight, poisonous substances found in drugs. Real Estate Association calls for tougher laws. An FEO to consider MOG recommendations.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spate.
In another shocking revelation, the police force has been made aware of illicit hard drugs, including methamphetamine and cocaine, being mixed to be sold on our streets. Police Chief Brigadier General Sitiveni Gilio has revealed to FBC News that upon investigation it's been discovered that some of these mixed drugs also contain deadly chemicals like animal poison. Akusita Tale with this report.
The police commissioner says some drugs seized and sent for analysis have shown 2 or more ingredients, which includes poisonous substances used on pests.
We found out there's certainly a mixture or concoction of methamphetamine and cocaine mixed together and injected into people, even to the extent of rat bait being one of the ingredients that's utilized in this.
While the investigation is still in its preliminary stage, the police commissioner says the results on hand will be produced as evidence in court cases.
We have trained people within the institution who have been able to identify that through colors and also the lab tests that will confirm that. But we are aware that there are certain cocktails of these drugs that is being administered.
Dr. Sitiveni Yanutawa, a former clinician at St. Giles Hospital, says mixing the drugs with poison is very alarming as it will have detrimental effects on the body, beginning with the brain and attacking the liver, kidneys and pancreas.
So if the liver goes, the pancreas and the kidney goes. And when the kidney goes, it gives the back pressure to the heart again. And then you have a heart attack. And that will be instant.
Symptoms of rat poisoning include unusual bleeding which can occur in the brain, causing stroke-like symptoms. The police commissioner says they are taking the emergence of these dangerous trends in the drug trade very seriously. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
The Fijian Elections Office has acknowledged the report on the 2018 general election released by the Multinational Observer Group yesterday. Supervisor of Elections has confirmed that they will consider the 21 recommendations put forward by the Multinational Observer Group to build on the achievements of this election. Kritika Kumar reports.
Election Supervisor Mohammad Sanim confirms they've received the formal report and are thoroughly going through it.
The Fijian Elections Office is appreciative of the findings of the MOG report. We acknowledge that the Multinational Observer Group has recognized numerous initiatives that the FEO implemented post-2014 based on our lessons learned and goals that we had set in 2014.
Sanim says they will also analyze and assess the report in terms of the applicability and its usefulness.
We will consider this positively and of course the more verification of the role, the higher the level of integrity, and we aspire to the highest levels of integrity of our voters register, and we'll take some of these kind of recommendations on board.
The MOG yesterday released its report on the 2018 election, calling it well administered with voting and counting transparent and credible. They also appreciated FEO for conducting awareness campaigns across Fiji, encouraging voters in remote areas as well as young people to register and to vote. Meanwhile, the National Federation Party claims the current government will never implement the recommendations of the MOG on the conduct of future elections. Kritika Kumar, FBC News.
The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Justice, Law and Human Rights will wrap up deliberations and submissions this week on the Code of Conduct Bill. Committee Chair Alvik Maharaj says while there has been close to 40 submissions on the bill, the committee itself has adopted a number of measures to attract more Fijians to participate in the committee proper. Maggie Boyle tells us more.
It's the final run-through for the Code of Conduct Bill.
The submitters they actually spoke about was definition of certain words that are actually used in the bill itself that provides a bit more clarity, but that's on the committee to decide at the moment.
The committee chair says while there was a hike in submissions sent in last minute, it has been a challenge.
People are not too interested. Initially we thought that we are not actually making enough of advertisement, not going out public and letting people know that there is going to be a submission, but there is a lack of interest within the Fijians to actually come and submit before the committee.
As such, all committees have now adopted a number of measures to be more accessible.
So this time around we are actually using Turangni Koros and advisory councillors as well, because they are the people on ground, so they will be actually going out to the village and settlements and encouraging people to actually come in.
Acting Secretary General to Parliament Vinian Namosi Maloa told FBC News earlier that they would work on increasing public participation across all committees. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
It has been revealed tonight that Fijians have been duped by real estate agents into paying ridiculously high prices for properties. Real Estate Association President Anand Gounder says there have been cases where properties have been sold way above their valuation price. Pranita Prakash reports.
The Real Estate Association is calling on policy makers to introduce certain laws to protect Fijians from being duped into real estate deals.
I have personally come across instances where the valuation is 300 and agents are selling the property at 450. We are looking at the reform which is coming, and some laws got to be enacted whereby these things are protected. Like consumers, they are finding difficult. Right now, they're finding very difficult to buy a property. An average property in Suva is upwards of $600,000, and a person earning 70 to 80 grand cannot afford to buy that property. Our children, will not be able to afford properties in Fiji if this trend is continuing.
However, the Real Estate Licensing Board believes otherwise.
A property can be sold at any price in the open market. There is no restriction. As long as the buyer and the seller, they agree to a price. Now, valuation is just a guide. Actually, valuation means that that property, if it has been valued for 300,000, then it should not be sold anything less than that. That will be a loss to the owner. So if it goes to 500,000 in the open market, well and good. There is no restriction in that.
The association is calling on real estate agents to work in ethical manner.
I request all the agents all over Fiji, let good sense prevail. Let us all do things in a manner which is fair and just.
There are currently 67 registered real estate agents in the country. Meanwhile, more than 20 agents and salespersons attended a Talanoa session today, organized by the Real Estate Licensing Board. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
Still to come, new seawall for Namoli village. And retired teachers may be recruited again. Details after the break.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, gongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Hoya ubasit sai lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Gua Dr. Meli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Warong tuma ng Bula FM, nambang dua na sere nawaluan.
Nevang go fani na tao no singa toka, kita untuk talita kana Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Bula FM, nambang dua na sere.
Good news for the villagers of Namoli and Lautoka as the construction of a seawall is now underway. The construction of the 440-metre seawall will help in the prevention of loss of coastal land and flooding, which Namoli villagers have been facing over the past few years. Felipe Naikaso has more.
The construction of a seawall here at Namoli village will definitely bring a peace of mind and sense of safety to the villagers.
This will lead to prevention of any further coastal erosion, prevention of coastal flooding and inundation of storm surge, protection of the infrastructure here, the village.
For the past few years, the villagers had pleaded to government for assistance as they wanted to save their coastal land. The villagers also came up with their own preventative measures. However, it was not enough.
It's damaged our environment, our foreshore, and a lot of things, as you can see, from there. A lot of houses towards the sea. Waters, when we experience high tide, king tide, the waters go inside the houses.
I want to thank the community for their perseverance and patience. I know they've been requesting this work for some time, but here we are, and the work will commence immediately today.
The cost of the seawall is more than $700,000, which will also include a drain and culvert. Philip and Ikaso, FBC News.
Freedom of expression, human rights and the value of free and frank discussion to support decision-making at all levels was some of the major topics of discussions during the Media, Human Rights and Democracy dialogue held in Suva earlier today. While officiating at the event, European Union Delegation for the Pacific Representative Ingrid Swinen said the one-day discussion will support Fiji's international commitment to media independence and human rights. Sanyani Boiler reports.
The EU-funded one-day dialogue was a good start for the media, youth groups and other relevant stakeholders to address the issue they face in an open-door discussion.
So with the dialogue being organized, it's the first of its kind, pre-elections and post-elections, and we are so proud as a project to hold this dialogue because it engages young people to be able to engage more in a more meaningful way, and that their voices are being heard about issues that concern them around media, human rights and democracy.
EU delegation representative Ingrid Sweden says the EU is strongly committed to human rights and gender equality and has supported this British Council's Valuing Voices development project.
4 years ago, we partnered with the British Council and launched this project with the overall objective to contribute to the development and consolidation of democracy and the rule of law and respect for all human rights and fundamental freedoms.
The Suva dialogue sees more than 70 representatives together with panelists from the media organization, law firms, young people and the LGBTIQ community. Sainia Nimboila, FBC News.
70 villagers from Benga Island have received their boat master and Class 6 licensing certification. While receiving their certificates, Employment Minister Parveen Bala says it is their role to ensure the safety of the people who travel on their boats. Catherine Krishna reports.
All boat captains on Benga Island now have gained license to operate, and they have been reminded of their responsibility.
I encourage all boat captains on Benga Island to adhere to the maritime and safety laws and put in practice what you have learned from this training. The people of Benga depend on you, and you must retain their trust by applying best practice of seafarers when operating a boat.
Kumar says such initiatives is government's way of empowering Fijians generate self-income.
We are empowering you the opportunity to use your license to self-income generation. It is our hope that by generating income, it will inspire you to do more for your family and your community to a sustainable way of life.
The minister says by issuing licenses, the ministry aims to encourage international laws and standards concerning safety at sea in Fiji. Catherine Krishna, FBC News.
In an effort to solve the teacher shortage in Fiji, the Ministry of Education has indicated that retired teachers may have a chance to teach again in schools around the country. Education Minister Rosie Akbar says they are keeping their options open on avenues which they can use to solve the issue. The minister says in secondary schools they lack teachers in science, maths, physics, computer and industrial arts. Akbar says recruiting the retired teachers will be their last resort.
Well, if I have no choice, I will have to consider them because we want teachers to be teaching our children. We don't want children to be left without teachers for long. Okay, so that will be one option we'll be considering. But let us exhaust all these avenues first.
Coming up in sports later with Jamie, all the very latest from the Champions League. But first, Rachel is here now with business.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Good evening, and coming up after the break, Paradise Beverages launches new brand. An ingoing Fiji work in progress at Garden City. Stay with us.
Voila, I am Eleanor. For the best classic hits, I only listen to Gold FM here in Singapore. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Yeni Rawa. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Dino. I'm from Outrigger, Koroko, Singatoka. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
My name is Salote. I love listening to Gold FM here in Nosuri. Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Bula, my name is Marida. Gold FM plays the best classics here in Outrigger, Singatoka.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Leading business tonight, Fijian alcohol preferences are evolving and they're always looking to try something new. Launching Paradise Beverages' new Fiji Gold Molly beer in Suva last night, General Manager Mike Spencer revealed that it's important to keep up with the worldwide trend of alcohol. Kelly Vidala reports.
Fiji Gold is the biggest selling beer locally and lemon-flavored beers are trending in the international market.
Consumers are looking for something different. Consumers are travelling the world now, they're on the internet. It's not just beers they're looking for all sorts of new products. And we know that if we don't bring out new products, then people will try imported products.
General Manager Mike Spencer says the new product took a year and 26 trial brews to perfect. Many also welcomed the new beer, saying it was soothing.
It's very soothing. You know, it's not bitter. The taste of this thing, it really doesn't taste like beer, but it's so light and it's so nice.
It's really refreshing and way different from the Fiji Gold as used to drink before.
The product is expected to cost 15 cents more than the actual can of Fiji Gold.
So all our beers in Fiji are not really high strength, they're sort of moderate strength, and they're all 4.6%, Fiji Bitter, Fiji Gold and Fiji Gold Molly. The exact price, because it depends on what the customer wants to sell it for, but it's in a ballpark of 15 cents a can more than Fiji Gold, Fiji Bitter, so it's a very similar price.
Paradise Beverages says Fiji Gold Molly will start as a local product, and if it does well, then it will be added to their list of export profile. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
And we now join Sharon from HSC Bank with the latest from the money world.
The US dollar held on to gains today. This came after minutes released from the Federal Reserve's last meeting revived expectations of a possible rate hike this year. According to the Fed, the US economy and its labor market remain strong, prompting some expectations of at least one more hike this year. Investors shifted their focus away from perceived rate hike back to trade issues for fresh directional clues. The US-China trade negotiation deadline could be extended, and that may mean Europe and Japan will face trade issues. Meanwhile, in Japan, their manufacturing activity contracted in February for the first time since 2016. Japanese manufacturers are dealing with the Chinese economic slowdown and the global trade cycle losing further steam. And in Australia, the unemployment rate remained unchanged at 5% in January. And that's all the latest from HFC Bank for now. Naka.
Thanks, Sharon. On to the exchange rates as it was set this morning. The Fiji dollar was on the rise today, making some gains against the Aussie and Kiwi dollar as well as most of the other currencies we cover, but slipped slightly against the US greenback and the Chinese yuan. Taking a look at the commodities market, the price of oil has gone back on the rise at over $57 per barrel today. Gold dipped a few dollars to close at $1,337 an ounce, and silver closed at $16.01 an ounce. And in Going Fiji tonight, the refurbishment of the Garden City complex in Rewai Suva is expected to be completed in 8 weeks. Marco Polo Holdings Limited Director and Garden City owner Liwa Singh says the construction has been carried out in phases and the first phase has been completed with the First Choice supermarket opening tomorrow. Singh adds the refurbishment of the complex is estimated to cost just under $50 million once completed.
This is not a traditional shopping mall as such. We'll have some very world-class restaurant and dining spots here. No food court. We have planned for spaces for function and trade exhibition, including promotion of small and medium enterprises.
And that's business for tonight. Be sure to join Kelly from tomorrow for all your very latest business news. I'll be back in a few more weeks. Till then, do take care of yourself. Over to you, Jamie.
Thanks, and good evening. In sports tonight, Bar departs for OFC Champions League, and 97 nominees confirmed for Sports Awards. This and more coming up.
Hi, I'm Jyotishma. I'm from Singatoka. I love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM is #1.
I'm Charlene Robert. Mirchi FM rocks in Lambasa.
I'm Soname Nasori Jackson. Mirchi FM is hot.
My name is Raymond Dutt. I'm in Baba Singh Alliance. Mirchi FM is hot in Lambasa.
I'm Pritika from Jackson Nasori. I love listening to Mirchi FM here in Nasori. Mirchi FM is hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Fiji Airways men's sevens coach Gareth Baber will take a 14-member squad to the Las Vegas and Vancouver tournaments next month. Yamadia's Isoa Tambu and Asaili Tuiwaka of Wardens have fought their way into the touring party as the only key changes to the squad that contested the Hamilton and Sydney Sevens. Despite being named in the side, winger Alessio Nanduva's visa status remains unclear. If Nanduva's visa application is delayed, Matinisavu Uluyata is on standby to travel with the team. Bar football will begin its OFC Champions League campaign this weekend. After bundling out of the pool stage last year, the men in black say they're ready to give it their best shot. Vashnal Prasad reports.
They're a brand name when it comes to football in Fiji. The team has represented the country the most number of times in the OFC, and Bar is looking for a superstart.
We are in the tough pool, but there's a saying that nothing is impossible. So we, like I said, that we have really prepared well for this Champions League. So we'll just go there and give our 100%.
Avnesh Swami has been part of the side since 2005 and says there are few areas where Fijian teams have lagged when playing their Oceania counterparts.
Only part we sometimes we lack is our discipline. So for these 3 games, main part we have to be like all the players, like when we're gonna play any team, we need to maintain our discipline throughout our 90 minutes.
Bar is faced up against Team Wellington, who they have never beaten so far.
We never beaten them is not mean that we can't beat them. We can beat them, and my boys is ready. As I'm saying that we have played our league before. My boys have played, and there is some new boys under 23, and they are guided by my very experienced players like Malakai Tiwai and Abnesh Swami.
The men in black face the New Zealand-based team at 3 p.m. on Saturday. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Lambasa football will be out to redeem itself in the Vodafone Premier League this weekend. The Mbamba Singh Alliance hopes to make up for their loss to Nasinu last week with a win over Nandi at home this Saturday. Eleanor Turangeviu with this report.
The Lambasa soccer side is serious about winning over Nandi this weekend.
We have ironed out a few things which went wrong against Nasinu.
The side's training this week has been focused on identifying the weaknesses from last weekend's loss and working to improve it.
Lesson for them, and it's a good lesson for me too, to be really careful and start preparing ball more harder.
The players have been committed to training and they have one mission this weekend.
So we go for a win here.
And they have identified how they can achieve this.
Once you get the scoring chance, our players should find the net, and that's what it is.
The Vodafone Premier League match between Lambasa and Nandi will be held at Braille Park in Lambasa, and the match will kick off at 1:30 p.m. Eleanor Turangeviu, FBC Sports.
The Fiji Football Association has completed its internal investigation into the alleged use of drugs by its players and allegations against one of its officials. Fiji FA Chief Executive Muhammad Yusuf says the investigation committee is finalizing its report, which it will submit to the Minister of Youth and Sports before the end of the week. Yusuf adds they will discuss their next course of action once they have the final report.
If the investigation committee
finds there's no substance, there's nothing in the allegations, then there's a likely chance of the board meeting and deciding the next course of action.
Atletico Madrid claimed a big victory over Juventus in the Champions League last 16 first leg this morning, the Spanish side defeating the Italian champions 2-0. In the other match, Manchester City came from behind to beat Germany-based Schalke 3-2. 97 nominees have been confirmed and will be recognized at the 2018 Fiji Sports Awards cocktail night tomorrow. This is an increase of 33 nominees from the 64 last year. As done previously, tomorrow's event is to acknowledge the efforts and commitment of all the nominees before the main awards night next Friday.
Congratulations to the 97 nominees, and of course the confirmation about our update from our hard-working committee. They have been working very hard in ensuring that we kick off with sponsors night tomorrow night. Give the mileage back to these fantastic sporting stars and their achievements in 2018.
Top bowler Litia Tikoisuva will lead Radhika Prasad and Loretta Kotoisuva to defend the women's national triple bowling title this weekend at the Suva Bowling Club. The trio have been training hard at trying their level best to get everything right before the big showdown. Meli Tavanga with this report.
Known to be one of the best in the country, Litia Tikoisuva is more than ready to compete with the best in the sport.
It's going to be a very tough tournament this year since the coach has been here for 2 weeks, so everybody's been learning from him. So it's going to be up to the day. Whoever plays well on the day will win the tournament.
The Asia Pacific gold medalist says they are aware of other competitors and they are ready to defend their title.
As a defending champion and as one of our older bowler to the new players, because we don't know how they play and they sometimes are unpredictable. It's going to be a pressured weekend this weekend for that.
Meanwhile, there has been a change in the men's triple team that won last year.
Unfortunately, I couldn't be able to play with the other teammates because they have Raju playing in a certain combination, which is good. They have Kushal, Raju and Arun. Very good team. This year I'm playing with Suren and Kalim. And it's a new year, it's a new challenge. I'm looking forward to the challenge this year.
Semesa Nasiri says the change in his team doesn't make any difference as they had played together before.
I believe it's good because we've played with Suren and Kalim so many times. We know each other's strength and weakness, and we just have to work and improve from there.
The championship will also act as the selection criteria for the Pacific Games that will be held in Samoa in July. Meli Tavanga, FBC Sports.
The Highlanders have bolstered their squad with 9 All Blacks set to start their first home game for the Super Rugby season against the Reds tomorrow. Veteran Kiwi playmaker Benji Marshall is adamant he can return to the top of his game this season with the West Tigers. After a failed stint in rugby union and struggling at times back in the NRL, he is now using his experience to lead the team. In today's Play of the Day, Chris Gayle bombarded England with sixes on his West Indies return, clearing the ropes 12 times on his way to 135 as the hosts set a winning target of 361 in the first ODI in Barbados. That's it from Sports Tonight. Angie joins you later on with weather and in new media. A solar and heat-powered fitness watch is now hot in the market. Details after the break.
मैं नवनीत नंद नंबुआ से जैसे फ्रेंडी नोट मशहूर है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 भी सभी जगह मशहूर है। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
सीमा नकाशी से मैं रेडियो फीजी 2 पसंद करती हूँ सुनने के लिए। रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
मैं हूँ अंकल किंग सिंगाटोका टाउन के टैक्सी ड्राइवर। जैसे रग्बी फेमस है वैसे रेडियो फीजी 2 फेमस है।
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Tonight's new media, we take a look at a solar and heat-powered fitness watch hot in the market. It's weather time now with Angie.
Hello there and welcome to the Weather World.
Nothing beats the beauty of sunshine, and you might have noticed how wonderful sunshine has been for the past few days. We're actually having dual conditions in one day. How fortunate. Taking a look in the west, super sunny day, so much to do here while the sun smiles. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, quite easy here, very calm and light drizzles were active. And up north, more of the beautiful sunny periods. At sea, southeast winds 30 knots, very rough seas. For the tides, high tide at 7:52 p.m. with low tide at 1:50 a.m. Sunrise at 6:02. For tomorrow, finally reaching our marvelous Friday, what are your plans? Swimming, hiking, or just a normal one? Well, whatever it is, you will have a great one as the sun will still be around. Tomorrow's temps, most centers will range from 29 to 31 degrees. And looking further on to Saturday, apart from few passing showers, all will be great. And that's all from the FBC Weather World. Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fiji Pulse tonight, we asked, is it reasonable for minibus operators to ask for a fare increase?
We can't just increase the fare anyhow. We need opinions from other relevant stakeholders. I think extensive consultations should be done regarding the issue before a decision is made.
I think the fare should increase because in 18 years, the fare hasn't gone up at all, while the bus fare has gone up. I think this is unfair.
Look, plenty people traveling in the minibus. It's a long time, but the fares never go up. The fare should be go up.
Should be gone up because we're driving minibus more than 15 years, and we're receiving same fare in $1.50, and everything is going up for increment.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a 2-year-old steals the spotlight on her parents' wedding. Recapping the main stories for tonight, poisonous substances found in drugs. Real Estate Association calls for tougher laws. An FEO to consider MOG recommendations. Now for these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. To our poll question segment this week, we're asking, do you think an environmental hotline will reduce damages to our environment? Visit our FBC website to answer. Before we go, our shot of the day taken at the Suva seawall opposite the Suva Handicraft Market, cruise line Explorer of the Seas arriving into the capital. This was sent in by Bhavin Damodar. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. You can also follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. That was the FBC News for tonight. From the team and I, good night.
Bula, nevang go malakai leloma, ngongai nakas untuk makarong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Hoya o vasit sai sa Lambasa, ya untuk talita na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Guya do tumeli, ako na tao no hinga toka, talita kina na warong ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Warong tuma ng Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere nawaluan.
Nevang go fani na tao no hinga toka, kita untuk talita kina Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.
Bula FM, nambang 2 ay nasere.